Some people talk off the cuff, but today I'm talking off the shelf. Hey Book Dragons, I am so glad that you're here with me today. Thank you for joining me. I was tagged in the Off the Shelf Booktag by Philip over at Philip Hall. If you have not checked out Philip's channel, you really should. He's an absolute joy to watch. And the creator of this tag is Mike over at Bibliophile Reads. So check out both of their channels. I'm really excited to do this tag, and it's just a bunch of questions about me that don't necessarily have to do anything with a bookshelf or books. So here we go. Prompt number 1, when you're not filming or reading, what does a normal day in your life look like? It can be work or school, etc. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. So my typical day is work. Monday through Friday, 9:15 to 5:45. I know that's a weird, oddly specific shift. But that is the majority of my day every day of the week. And then in my off times, I read, I film videos, but it said besides filming and reading books and such. So, I'll play video games, I'll watch movies, I do watch a lot of YouTube. I've got a variety of hobbies. I do art as well. I work on art, so lots of different things. And I have maybe too many hobbies. That's the ADHD in me, I guess, right? All right, prompt number 2, what kind of work do you do? And does it change how you read or what you notice in stories? So I'm an insurance agent. I work for a corporate insurance company. I've been in the insurance industry for almost 14 years now, and I do property, renters, homeowners, auto insurance, those kinds of things has been what I've done. So it does change how I read just a little bit because I work on chat, and so in between chats, I can do other things. I can read, I can watch YouTube, I can, just as long as it doesn't distract my work, but I'm not on the phones with customers anymore. So I have a lot of flexibility, depending on how busy the day is, right? So that's where I get the majority of my reading or watching YouTube done. As far as if it makes me notice different things in stories, not really. I mean, I'm talking with other humans all day, right? And there's other humans in stories, so I'm bound to see parallels. But my particular job doesn't influence what I pick up when I'm reading books. Prompt number 3, are you a morning person or a night owl? Well, lately I seem to wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. It's not my preference. I just can't sleep that late anymore. I don't know. I've always really been a night owl, but I have forced myself to be a morning person for work. If I had my choice, I would rather sleep later in the day, maybe sleep in until like 9 or 10 a.m. and then stay up until midnight or 1 o'clock. Although that's about my cutoff. I can't really go much beyond 1 a.m. But lately I haven't done that. And maybe it's just, as I'm getting older, my body's needs are changing and I can't do that anymore. But yeah, I'd rather not be waking up at 4:35 a.m. every morning. I'm usually up, other than that, I'm usually up about 6 in the morning, 6:30, somewhere around there, just to make sure I have enough downtime before I go to work. Prompt number 4, do you recharge by being alone or talking to people? Definitely alone. I like people. I really do. But at the end of the day, if I've been peopling a lot, I'm going to be in my cave just spending time by myself. That is definitely how I recharge, and that's the best way for me to have a healthy mental composition for the next day. All right, prompt number 5. What drains you more? Too much socializing or too much isolation? Definitely too much socializing. Again, I like people, but I really get overwhelmed by it after a while, and I have to recharge. So I will usually be the person that is leaving the party early. You know, if I go to a big group gathering, if it's 2 or 3 people or 4, it's not a big deal. But if it's a big group of people, you'll usually see me leaving early because I've had too much. I love people. I really do. But it can be a bit after a while. Prompt number 6. What's something that you enjoy that has nothing to do with reading? I enjoy going to art museums. I enjoy playing video games and watching movies, although that kind of involves stories, right? Especially if you're watching movies that are adaptations of books or things like that. But I love playing board games, which are also story related, I guess. So, but they're not specifically book related. Although I do have a board game that is specifically book related. So, yeah, a lot of what I do is read, but I just, I enjoy spending time with my important people, and I enjoy doing a wide variety of things. I like being out in nature, going for walks, and yeah, so a wide variety of things when I have the time to do them. All right, prompt number 7. Do you like planning things ahead of time or figuring things out as you go? I'm kind of a mix. I like to plan a little bit, like when I'm doing my videos, for instance. I like to have kind of a general outline of where I'm going, but I also like to be a little spontaneous and have some flexibility. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with, just being flexible and not having a whole lot of set plans and see where the day takes me. But during the work week, I can't really do that, right? So, yeah. But I guess my best choice would be to have that flexibility and spontaneity. So, yeah. Prompt number 8. Do you like working alone or alongside others? Oh, definitely alone. Now, I have to clarify. I like working with a team. I'm on a team at work, and I like working with them, and we have a good rapport, and we help each other out during the workday. But as far as my own work environment, I prefer being alone. I don't like being in an office. It's much better for me to just be at home in my familiar surroundings. I have a much better outlook on the day like that. Prompt number 9. Are you more sentimental or practical? I'm more practical. I am sentimental about a few things. Things that my kids have made for me, I definitely try to keep those. But in the end, I'm more practical. I'm a minimalist. If I don't really need it, unless it brings me a humongous amount of joy, which I have things that do that, if I don't need it, I'm not going to keep it around. If I have a bunch of tools, for instance, that I think I might use one day, I don't keep things around if I might use them. So I'm definitely more practical, but there is some sentimentality in me as well for things that are very personal that people have given me or made me. Yeah. Or, maybe it's souvenirs from a trip that I took with someone. I'm probably going to hang on to those. Yeah. Prompt number 10. What kind of pace do you prefer in life? Busy, steady, or slow? I like a slow, even pace. I mean, it can be steady at times. I don't mind that, but I like a slow, even paced life. I don't like being too busy. I get overwhelmed if I'm too busy. Like if I know I have a lot of stuff planned during a weekend, I'm like, oh, okay, how am I going to figure out some downtime, some me time during that? So yeah, I can get overwhelmed. So slow and easy is the way I prefer it, but I'm okay with steady as well. Don't make me super busy though. That is not a thing Chaz does well. All right. Prompt number 11. What's a simple task you strangely enjoy doing? Okay, guys, you may think this weird, but I really enjoy doing the dishes. I mean, I don't mind other people doing the dishes. That's fine, and I like that when I have help or if I'm gone, and I come home and people have done the dishes. That's awesome. But I really enjoy doing the dishes. Maybe that's weird, but it's very meditative for me. It's very calming for me just to stand there at the kitchen sink, rinse off the dishes. I do use the dishwasher. I don't hand wash most of the dishes unless they need to be hand washed or unless the dishwasher is full and we have no choice. But I love it. It's just oddly calming for me. So, yeah. Prompt number 12. Are you naturally early, on time, or late? I'm naturally early. I have been right on time to things, and I'm fine with that. But I don't like being late. I really don't like being late. I don't have that expectation of other people. That is just me personally. That is my personal preference for my own practices. I don't like being late places. And if I am going to be late, I always text or call or something like that. Hey, I'm going to be a few minutes late. I'm sorry. That's how I am. I just can't fathom being late and not at least letting somebody know. So there we go. Prompt number 13. What motivates you more, curiosity or responsibility? I take my responsibilities very seriously, and I am motivated by those responsibilities. I'm responsible to be a good dad to my kids, a good partner to my partner. I'm responsible to be a good human being to other human beings. I take that very seriously, and I'm very motivated by that. And to be kind to animals as well. Very, very important to me. So those responsibilities do motivate me. And I'm also motivated by curiosity. So, I don't know, that's a hard one. I guess I'll lean more into responsibility, but curiosity is a big part of who I am as well. So, let's see. Prompt number 14. What do you tend to overthink? What helps you feel grounded? Well, let's take the last part first. I feel most grounded when I've had time to just be still and decompress, just sit reading a book or doing something relaxing. That is what helps me feel the most grounded. What I tend to overthink is how I say things. I'm very intentional about wording things the right way so that I'm not going to unintentionally offend somebody or hurt someone's feelings. I overthink what I'm going to say. Even to the point of, driving in the car, I'll be rehearsing a conversation that I'm about to have with someone. I want to make sure that my words are clear and well thought out. That doesn't mean I don't speak my mind, but when I do speak my mind, I plan ahead for how I'm going to speak my mind. That's just how I am, and it can be detrimental sometimes, yes, because at some point you've overthought it and it just backfires, So I wish I was a little bit more flexible on that, but I'm not really. I do overthink that a lot. All right, prompt number 15. What's something you always notice when entering a room? Smells. Smells for sure. I will notice food that's cooking, or I will notice food that's been left out, or I will notice a cat box that needs to be cleaned. Smells are what hits me right away when I enter a room. Or if somebody's wearing a really strong perfume, oh my goodness, I probably have to leave the room because that's the first thing that I smell. I can't do well with strong perfumes. But yeah, so yeah, things like that are what I notice. A freshly painted room. Oh boy, that's a big one. So yeah, smells. All right. Prompt number 16. What kind of humor do you naturally use? I do stupid humor, guys. I do dad jokes. I do weird puns. I'm very punny. I enjoy a good, funny GIF or meme. I'm all about just, funny, silly humor, which is interesting because I don't like most comedies. Like most movies or sitcoms that are heavily comedy focused, I usually don't get them. I just don't enjoy them that much. So I guess I'm a paradox on that. All right, so we're going to move on to prompt number 17, which is, do you usually multitask or single task? It depends. I can multitask with books, kind of. I'm usually reading multiple books at once, although of course not at the same time. Sometimes when I'm working, I can have an audiobook going in the background while I'm doing a task, or I'll have YouTube on the background, but usually I need to pause those if I really need to focus on a particular task. So it really depends for me. I think probably my default is single tasking. That's probably best and healthiest for me. So we'll go with single task, but I can multitask if the need arises. All right, prompt number 18. What's your default reaction to free time? Plan or relax? It really depends on my mood. If I don't have anything to do and I'm bored and I don't want to be stuck in the house, I'll probably call up a friend and say, hey, what you doing right now? You want to get together, or you want to have a phone call, or maybe we can play video games online together or whatever. I'll usually be looking for something to do, but something that is relaxing, because I do like to just sit and relax at the end of a work day. If I've got nothing to do, I will find something relaxing to do. And I'm learning more and more the benefits of just being silent and sitting and doing nothing. Not always needing something to do. Not always scrolling my phone, just sitting and enjoying the silence. Sometimes that's all I need. So, yeah, but I guess sitting and enjoying the silence is still doing something. All right, prompt number 19. Are you comfortable with silence around other people? I am. Yes. Usually it's when I'm doing something with people. I don't always have to be like talking with them. Sometimes my partner and I do reading dates. We'll just sit and read a book together. So, we don't have to be talking. We're focusing on the book. And but even when we aren't doing anything, I just enjoy being with my partner or with other friends and just being silent and enjoying their company, enjoying the space together. So yeah, I definitely like silence. I don't mind it. Prompt number 20. Do you usually remember conversations or impressions? That depends again. I think I probably remember impressions more often, but certain conversations really stick in my mind. Like they'll stick in my mind for years. Whether they were bad conversations or good conversations, they definitely kind of become part of who I am. And, that may play into that whole thing of overthinking things that I say. I think for the most part, though, I remember impressions. I remember what I thought about a certain person, or what I thought about a certain event that we went to, or a certain place that I visited. But yeah, conversations stick out in my mind too. So that's a hard one. And the final prompt here is to tag others. And I don't know who's done this tag, but I'll tag a few people in the description below, as I kind of always do. So if you're watching this tag and you haven't done it and it sounds fun, I'm tagging you. I would love to see you do it. And thank you so much again for joining me in this little journey off of my shelf. If you want to watch more of my content, there's some ideas here on the end screen. And until next time, I hope you read more books. Take care.